Hey everybody, welcome to WDWNT Live. I think we're on. I think I might have done this correctly. There's a reason I don't usually do these things.
You can't do any worse than us.
I just did everything. I put the streams on, I turned us on, all that fun stuff. Hey everybody out there. Oh, my camera's still crooked from doing news today earlier. I gotta fix my camera. Thank you for joining us this evening. We're live as we are every day until the Disney parks reopen, which, shock, it's gonna be a while. But like I said before, we'll be here through now. See, now it's crooked the other way.
Oh, it's so crooked.
Yeah, I know. Tell me when it's straight. There?
Ish.
No.
Right?
There?
No.
There's some.
The thickness side has to go up a little bit, right?
The black thing in the middle of the table is the center of the table.
Yeah.
Am I centered?
You're centered, yeah.
Okay.
It's like one side's a little lower.
What? What's the problem?
No, you're all good.
Anyway, so we're here live tonight. We're going to do another watch along. Joining me is Nicholas Cicero, Jessica Figueroa, and Scott Smith.
Hello there.
And we're not going to watch the new episodes of the Clone Wars tonight because that would make too much sense.
Wow.
Plus they
We're going to be
suck.
watching. What was that?
No.
No, what'd you say?
I said plus they suck.
They suck.
Yeah, that's what I've heard so far. That's been the reviews.
They're
thus
not amazing.
far. I'm going to open up the chat here so I can follow along. Oh, it's trying to play audio. I'm in the show. I
There's
don't need audio.
bits and pieces of good stuff in the new season, but
The first episode and the fourth episode are good.
yeah, the fourth episode is really, so there's been 5 so far, right? The fifth was
right,
the
right,
Ahsoka.
right. See, the fifth was
the
so
fourth-
forgettable that I'm just like,
Yeah. The 4th episode I think was really good because it had some Jedi action. I don't know, I just wasn't into the whole Bad Batch storyline. It didn't do anything for me. A lot of the stuff that's about the clones, like always throughout the other 6 seasons, it's very hit or miss for me. And those are probably the ones that Tom really dislikes.
Yeah, I don't like those either.
Yeah.
I actually really like the Bad Batch and like all the clones and
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Well, I just wasn't I wasn't digging the storyline. It wasn't interesting to me. I guess it dove into the psyche of the clones a little bit, so that was fairly interesting. How you get to kind of know that they, I like to know that they care about each other. I mean, that's interesting part of their personalities.
I like
that they
to know
actually,
that my soulless clone army cares about each other.
yeah,
Individualism.
weird.
If you really want a great look at the dynamics of the clones, it's not canon anymore, but the Republic Commando series by Karen Travis, look it up. It's a series of 4 or 5 novels. Excellent books that deals with the clones and how they react to Order 66 and how they feel about the Jedi and the dynamic there. It's really good.
Real quick, before we continue any more conversation, I want to give people a couple of moments at home while we're chatting to pull up what we're watching, because it does take a minute to find this. We are going to be watching Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 3, Episode 15, Overlords. That's Season 3, and we're starting with Episode 15, Overlords. There's 3 episodes considered the Mortis Trilogy, I guess. They're not full movies, they're
Mortis
television
arc.
show episodes. It's an arc, a story arc, yeah. It's great. And every time we talk about Clone Wars, I bring this up because this was like the angriest I've ever been at a television series. And yeah. So yeah, Season 3, Episode 15. I'm going to get up again because no one put the air
Okay. So if I've seen a few comments like this is the first time watching Clone Wars, etc. I guess if this is your first introduction into Clone Wars, I think all of these animated series are actually a great way to like further your knowledge about Star Wars or actually get into Star Wars in the first place.
It's a great way to learn a lot of things you didn't want to know.
Because all of a sudden
no.
everything starts making sense. Like
Yes.
things will start clicking, and then you'll just get more into it and more interested.
The
I
other thing that's great
actually
about Clone
didn't
Wars
start
is you
with-
can jump in at any point because it has no actual impact on the films. So you can jump in at any time.
Much like the Mortis arc, everything kind of happens in little trilogy stories. So you can catch something halfway, or at least get a little bit of segments of the story, and things will still piece together if you watch a piece of one season and piece another. Especially if you watch the movies. I actually started by watching Star Wars Rebels. Obviously, I'd seen all of the movies, but I started by watching Star Wars Rebels, and then I eventually got into Clone Wars kind of like by backtracking a bit. I still haven't seen all of Clone Wars as like a preface. I have seen all of Rebels, but there's a cool tie-in with the Mortis arc and the Rebels, because like in the Rebels finale,
Some of us haven't seen Rebels.
No, but I'm saying the Mortis arc is like not. That's why everyone's so mad. No one's ever experienced anything like this. It goes into this weird spiritual, metaphysical, time-space thing that I think is really neat.
Yeah, and then Darth Maul gets in a DeLorean and hits 88 miles an hour.
Wow.
It's really great.
Yeah.
I also am going into this with a pretty open mind. I watched a few episodes of the Clone Wars, liked some, didn't like others, haven't seen this, so I love the movies. I love all 9 of the movies, actually, all of them. So
You like all of them?
I like all of them. I mean, obviously, there's no denying that like episode 1's a bad movie. But I still like Star Wars.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I still like Star Wars, no matter how many bad ones they make.
But like, I have enjoyed something about all of them. So, except maybe episode 1. But so I'm going into this with a pretty fresh, open mind. I've heard better things about Rebels than Clone Wars, so we'll see.
Again, we're watching Season 3, Episode 15 of The Clone Wars. It's on Disney Plus, called Overlords, Season 3, Episode 15. Before we begin, I'll give us a countdown. It's going to be a 3, 2, 1, go. And on go, you can hit play on your remote. What was that?
I said hit it on go. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, on go. We're not there yet. I'm giving people a few moments to cue it up.
Okay.
We have a few questions. How long? Go for it, Nick.
No. Questions from the chat are better than me.
How long has the series been a thing?
Yeah, Mandy, you have a question.
Back to the Lucas era, like this. He's the one who spearheaded the movie.
When did they start? 08?
They had the movie, which actually was terrible.
The movie was bad. That's why I didn't watch the series, because I went to see the movie in theaters and I was like, this is a waste of time.
Yeah.
I kind of agree. But I'll give the show a shot. I'm not going into this negative.
I will say, like, half of the episodes I'm glad I've seen, and the other half make me as angry as any television show has ever made.
No.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that's my honest take on it. I watched all of these leading up to Force Awakens because there was rumblings that there would be callbacks of some kind. I don't think there were.
So these aired in January of 2011.
Season 3 or just the series started?
The Mortis trilogy.
Okay.
Season 3.
So what, 09? What did the movie come out, 08, 09?
I guess 08.
I think 08.
And so the series debuted like November of 08? Something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Yep, first aired October 2008.
October 08, yeah. So I remember it was a big thing because it was like, hey, and I think it premiered on TNT or TBS, not even Cartoon Network. They ran it on one of those.
Right, because Cartoon Network had it first.
That was the thing.
It was in theaters.
Yeah, and I think then that ran on TNT or TBS, which is they're all Turner Networks along with Cartoon Network.
I remember it being a big Cartoon Network premiere. I don't know.
I thought the first one they aired on like TNT or TBS to get people interested.
I think that's exactly what they did. I think they either simulcast it or ran it on both. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
I
someone
think we're
suggested a Gargoyles watch along. Let's do that instead.
Gargoyles.
I would love that.
I don't
I've
like
actually watched
Gargoyles.
so much Gargoyles.
I don't like Gargoyles. Too
We're
dark.
gonna
All
see since I
right.
haven't seen season 1.
Let's
or
watch
episode
Bonkers.
Is Bonkers on here?
I have no idea.
1. Yeah, it's on
Is
there.
it? I hate
remember-
Bonkers too. I only like DuckTales, Tailspin, and Gummy Bears. Oh, and
New
Rescue
DuckTales
Rangers.
is absolutely fabulous.
All right. The new one's good, dude.
I love the new one.
All right, I think everyone's ready. Are we all ready to start the?
Let's do this.
Yes,
Remember, on go. On go, we hit
hit
play.
the play.
All right.
I'm
Go.
nervous.
All right, everyone ready?
Yeah.
I got my hand on the button.
3, 2, 1, go.
Loading.
Like 'em.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to happen. I'm a couple seconds ahead already, so don't worry, everybody. Something already went
Yeah.
wrong.
I'm at 10? No?
I don't know what I'm at.
Clone
I'm a couple
Wars
seconds
is
behind. It's
Evil.
fine. It's fine. Just keep
Favorite
going.
great power. All right. So while this episode starts, I just want to say that like the Clone Wars greatly increased my appreciation for the prequels. All the stories and the deep dive into the characters and everything. Because I don't hide the fact that I'm a prequel lover.
George Lucas' work.
Yeah. Well, I like that it is George Lucas material. It really is. It was George Lucas had a heavy hand in the Clone Wars, and the characterization of the Force in these episodes was George Lucas's idea.
Yeah.
For better or worse.
Maybe, but my take on any kind of storytelling, I like to sit back and listen to the story the storyteller is telling. Like I don't like to pass judgment on it or pass. I could critique it, and that's what we could do here. But I don't like to say you're wrong or this is bad. This was that storyteller's.
I never feel that way
what-
except for this trilogy. It's only this where I feel like this is not Star Wars, like you've crossed over into something else.
But it's what George wanted to do. You
George
can't say it's not Star
lost
Wars.
his mind slowly over time.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that. Yeah,
Doesn't mean it wasn't his vision.
To do it.
This was not his original vision, I assure you.
So, this is, they lost coordinates, they lost communication, and now they're entering the realm of Mortis.
Going for a ride.
I can't hear you over this blinding white light. That's it, they went to heaven. You think I'm joking?
Oh, that's too.
Well, it's whatever you want to interpret it being. And that's going to be a big part of what we talk about here. I mean, what do you interpret Mortis as? Did it really happen? Is it just given to them by the Force?
Asteroid.
Is it Super Mario Brothers 2?
Wow. Yeah, this episode was actually an episode of Doki Doki Panic first, and then got reskinned.
I feel like I'm really behind you guys for some reason. I paused on the.
I think we'll be okay. I'm at.
They just got the
I
Garden
don't know
of
what
Eden
time
now.
I'm at.
Yeah, they just got off the ship. They're looking at the Pandora
326.
rocks.
I'm at.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm at
Oh,
329.
Pandora!
Yeah, this is totally Pandora. Before
The
Pandora,
floating
fine.
mountain.
I think before
can't.
Pandora.
This
year did
is
Avatar
2
come out?
years after Avatar.
Oh, okay. Then it's stolen.
Even the
Oh,
plants look like Pandora.
They do.
Those are the
stop ruining
tulips.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the Shaman of Song.
Wow.
See, this is what I was watching earlier.
Hello.
I was like,
So-
wow, the animation's come a long way because like her hair
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
really move; it's all just one mass. Like,
Did you bring us here?
It's so beautiful animation. I loved the landscape of Mortis and everything they kind of created for this planet.
All right, who's
Oh,
weirded
seems
out?
like
on
it's
it?
just like this reminds me of like Courage the Cowardly Dog. She's like, return the slab.
Wow. It's absolutely Pandora. I don't even remember the outside of the building. Look, there's even purple plants. It's absolutely Pandora.
Could James Cameron could have sued?
You're right.
Lucky for him, no one saw this.
Wow.
No one's.
How dare you?
Their ratings got pretty low at one point. They almost got canceled a couple times.
Father, of course.
It was not what Cartoon Network thought the ratings were going to be. They expected much more.
No, not at all. But George Lucas was determined to keep it on for a certain period of time. He always.
Yeah, I think Cartoon
always
Network just
wanted
paid a
to
lot
run
less for later seasons than they did for the first.
Ah, look out.
See, now they're transitioning into Batu.
Where's their red
Wait,
rock?
so is she corporeal? I thought she was not corporeal.
She's very corporeal.
Is she
Like a
yelling that
body
he
you can
touched her? Is
touch.
that a thing?
Yeah. Yeah, you can touch her. Well, you should.
I just got yelled at for touching her, so.
Ask permission first.
He just saved her life.
See, they were teaching it before it was cool.
Wow.
Yeah, but our friend here's run off.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is before
take
Anakin
that.
Skywalker turns to the dark side and becomes Harvey Weinstein.
Oh my god.
Well, a lot
Wow.
of people think this is where he made the decision to turn. Not the decision,
Right.
but where he turned.
Oh, you're ruining it.
You're saying he made the decision in season
Not
3
the decision.
of seven.
Not a, not
It's like he
not a
didn't
conscious
really have a
decision, but it was that
decision.
first big step.
That he saved her?
No. At the end of this trilogy.
Oh, yeah.
Spoiler alert, third episode, but yes. This is the beginning stages to show you what Anakin's choices were going to be, what he became.
He wasn't given. We'll talk about this later, but he wasn't really given a choice.
All right, we'll talk about that. I disagree, but yeah.
Oh boy, another generic villain.
Another Sith creature.
They all look the same.
He does look very much like the Inquisitor, right?
Yeah.
Like I forgot how much he looked like the
Now that
Inquisitor.
you say
from
that.
Actually, with the red eyes, he looks like the evil Crash Test Dummy. If anyone remembers Crash Test Dummy? Crash Dummy.
Oh my god, he's like a copy of the Inquisitor, like,
Well, he came first.
right.
Yes and no. Is that big enough for you?
You want to live? Suggested
Oh, okay.
Because it's raining, and now I'm a dragon.
I think this was the thing that kind of made it a little hokey for me. They could have not been these like, Yu-Gi-Oh dragons, but they just made them
Yeah.
these like.
Oh, bioluminescent forest.
Wow, he's like Spider-Man. Running up those sheer walls.
It's gonna be up
A
there.
monastery.
How do you know it's a monastery? Do
He
monks
just
live
said
there?
that, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean that's like a Star Wars trope at this point. It's always gonna be a temple or a monastery.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, I don't know how he did it with the
a
monastery.
library.
That was a
with
heck of a
sacred
run.
texts.
Now we got a little bit of Tron going on.
Yeah.
I love this scene how they established. Yeah, Supertron.
It's definitely
Hi,
a church.
guy. My natural instinct is to sit down.
Well, I'm guessing he could sense that there's great force power coming off of this guy at this point. So he doesn't really know what to do or what to expect or what he is.
God. One that maybe you have known all along. One you must believe in order to fulfill your destiny. Enough with the riddles, old man. Tell me what's going on here.
So, Jess, you don't like how they are able to turn into like these spirit animals?
I would have been okay if they just stayed like these like omnipotent creatures, but just in their
the
normal
episodes just feel like
form.
something else. They don't feel like Star Wars. I think she's right. That's
This
one of the
episode's
things that
wacky
pulls
enough
it
as it is.
out of Star Wars.
No, I love the Ahsoka action here because just like you learn so much about Anakin, you learn about her, which
Oh,
Obi-Wan. Have you trained the boy?
did someone
How are
turn
you
their
here?
TV up? I'm hearing it on.
I don't.
Nothing's up.
What is this
Yeah.
place?
Like any other.
Is that Liam Neeson? That is not Liam Neeson.
no.
I don't think it is, no.
It sounds like him. They did a pretty good sound like that.
No, starting with Rebels, they started getting like the guest stars. They didn't really do that with Clone Wars.
You were right. The force within is stronger than any known Jedi.
So I think this is important because it's starting to plant doubts about, you know, who Anakin is, how his training is going, and what he's possibly becoming. And
He's always had that doubt. Which is interesting.
He's always, well, and so is this, you know, is Mortis kind of manifesting that doubt and making it grow.
Yeah.
And that's what this whole thing's about. This episode's about getting inside the heads of each one of these Jedis and
Why did he get a
seeing who they
blanket?
really are.
I don't know, but they didn't give him a pillow.
Or a bed.
I must tell you a secret.
It's so messed
Who's
up.
there?
Oh,
Zach.
It is me, Annie. Your mother.
Code does not check out here.
You're dead.
Nothing ever really dies, my
I
son.
also think part of why Obi-Wan sees Qui-Gon is he's afraid he's not living up to what, you know, he promised Qui-Gon.
He's so reckless, you know, it's like,
Whatever you are. My mother's.
And you, your Jedi training has served you well. But you are more than
Could you stop calling me Annie? That's one of the things I'm glad. Stop.
I hate sand.
It's coarse and it gets everywhere.
I failed as a Jedi, and I failed you.
how so?
I tasted only vengeance when I slaughtered so many. That was your death.
It is time you realize that your guilt does not define you, my son. You
I
define
know how to get captions on my TV here.
Is haunted by one.
Oh, Ma, bad touch.
that is love.
I have a wife. You've met her. She's everything to me.
Oh,
Your
Nah,
I love her.
He's the poisoner.
but
I'm a
so
catfish.
a lot of people have problems with the supernatural like aspect of some of these episodes. Like it gets a little too supernatural, and that's maybe when you say it's not Star
it
Wars.
gets very Bible-y, which I think like the Force is the way the Force is handled in the films. I like. I don't like when we get
In
too
defense of this whole
Bible-y.
thing, there's
Because how many?
always been a huge Catholic thing in the
Yeah,
Star
but how
Wars, though.
many movie series like do you just parallel Catholicism? I mean, it's been done a million times. I like that Star Wars. I don't know, just it felt like it wasn't.
I mean,
Well, they
it's
had the
like
whole
Jed's
immaculate-
always been.
Passionate, impulsive, but I trust him with my life. There are many contradictions in you and in him. War may never see your future if you remain student. Leave That's a fact.
That was older Ahsoka, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all like herself, because like.
Yeah.
And she has these doubts because she's very independent and wants to reckless. Very much has a lot of Anakin in him as far as that's concerned.
Yeah.
You have a very simple view of the universe. I am neither a Sith nor Jedi. I am much more.
So I like these deeper dives into what the Force might be. They really did that in Rebels a bit, and here they're diving into what if the Force is more than what the Jedi's perspective is.
I like this scene.
Spoke of this. You still know of our existence.
Very few watch the series.
My mother. But it was not her. It was something else.
My son, I suspect. We can take many forms. The shapes we embody are merely a reflection of the life force around us. Carry a great sadness in your heart. My children and I can manipulate the force like no other. Therefore, it was necessary to withdraw from the temporal world and live here as anchorites.
As a sanctuary?
And a prison. You cannot imagine what pain it is to have such love for your children.
Well, Jessica had to go sign for 3 bottles of Prosecco.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so got to get the essentials. So obviously this is where they're explaining, what Mortis is, why it has these, why we have these Force wielders here, and the difference between the light and the dark and the dad that's trying to keep them in balance.
Yeah.
And so this
long walk for Trilogy.
Well, this is where we really get into the idea of the chosen one bringing balance to the Force, and this is this brings us down that road. And again, maybe it means something the Jedi didn't think it meant, or thought it. It wasn't what the Jedi thought it was.
Why don't we find out together?
But isn't this guy like keeping the balance? Isn't that the whole thing?
Well, right, and at some point, I don't remember if it brought up here or later on in this episode, he wants Anakin to take his place and maintain the balance of the Force. That's what this whole trilogy is about. So that's this guy's interpretation of the chosen one bringing balance to the Force. So it's interesting because the Jedi have a completely different interpretation of that.
Well, that they'll defeat the Sith, right?
That's what they think. That's what they think. Bringing balance to the
How to
Force,
Train Your Dragon.
The Sith. But I mean, even at the end, Yoda admits that they probably read it wrong, or misinterpreted the prophecy anyway.
Yeah.
So, Jess, is this the scene where you say he doesn't have a choice? No,
at the end of this.
At the end of this, yeah.
Like, we'll talk about it once.
Fly, monkeys, fly.
So again, yeah, here we go. Like, I get it. It's like a bird, like a bird of peace, and then like a bat.
I don't like the design on them.
So the griffin is normally considered like a good,
right.
bird, like it's in protector, things like that, used for the forces of good. And then so the dark side is supposed to be a gargoyle, and so it's supposed to be like a bat-like, which are generally considered evil.
This is very like Pokemon for me. Like, this is very like this kind of took it out of me. Yeah. It's kind of brilliant, though, how this all breaks
Ahsoka,
down.
you can chime in at any time.
Anakin, the planet is the Force. Use it. You will remember.
Now, I don't know if the father thought Anakin wasn't this powerful to be able to save both, or if he thought that Anakin would just make a decision. I don't know.
It's both. It's like...
But this kind of shows that, like, so if what the father is saying is right, if we're to believe what the father is saying,
He's keeping the balance. Yeah, I get that.
No. Anakin's actually not making the selfish. He's making the selfish choice here because he's not keeping the balance of the Force. He's not taking over for the father and keeping the light and the dark in balance.
Okay, wait, we haven't gotten there yet.
How is he not?
No.
They're literally both there.
He literally just chose not to just save one or the other.
But killing one would be an imbalance, wouldn't it?
No, wait for what the father says.
Chosen one, retain both my children.
I've taken your test. Now fulfill your promise and let us go.
But first, you must understand the truth. Now, all of you leave.
Not trust.
Think
I love her.
feel your destiny. You must see now. I am dying. You.
Oh, okay.
Replace.
Yeah, like, alright. That's it.
Is this the part where he takes him up in the flying elevator and gives him the factory?
No.
Right. So, like, he just brought onto this, like, realm, and he's like, alright, bro, you're taking my place. And he's like, no, like, what? Like, no. No, it's his fault? Like, that's ridiculous.
I'm not saying it's his fault, but he had the choice.
What? Just, like, end his life? Oh, I guess I'm just gonna stay in this, like, random realm for the rest of my life because I gotta take over this guy's, like, job? No.
I have other movies to
If
do.
he believed that that was what being the chosen one meant.
And it's
Again,
like this, like, weird perpetuation of, like, toxic families. Like, oh, my children are
how it
gonna
ends?
cause
I
chaos.
hate these episodes so much.
My children are gonna cause chaos. Now it's your job to clean it up after I die.
Are we just letting it run?
Yeah, does everyone have autoplay?
Yeah,
15,
I guess
14.
Oh, I'm at 10.
Yeah, that way we're all
Let's
being
just
saved.
pause right at
I'm
the
at-
start of the next episode. As soon as you get the new episode, pause it.
All right.
All right.
So,
I'm paused at 0 seconds.
Are we going back to 0 seconds?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone seemed a little out of sync anyway.
There we go. I'm at 1.
I hate this.
What, Disney Plus?
No, I hate. Well, that too, but I. I'm just already angry. Like, I think there's. I don't know. This didn't need to be a series. I don't understand what benefit.
There's so much value in here. Learning about these
it's
character
cool.
stories. It is.
No, I
feel
like
like you
and I
could've
like
done
some
it
of the other ones. I
right.
like when what is Yoda? Yoda goes to Dathomir. Is that right? Is that the Sith planet? That happens towards the end of the
Yes.
series.
I mean, they've been to Dathomir a few times, yeah.
But like he sees like
Yeah.
visions of past Sith lords.
Oh,
and stuff.
yeah.
I like that one. That I like a lot. I don't. This
takes out
doesn't
one
make
episode.
sense to me.
So,
it's not
If
supposed
you really-
to. Like,
maybe. But if you watch this is supposed to, like, I'm talking about the series as a whole, you're supposed to have a better appreciation for who Anakin Skywalker is. You get this is the best version of Anakin Skywalker. Oh, he's so good. Get out of here.
Oh, then the movies? But the problem is it's all inconsistent. The problem is I get a completely different Anakin Skywalker in every movie and in this series. So I don't even connect them all.
That's not true. Thank you.
That's not true.
But the whole series...
That's impossible!
The Clone Wars helped me get a deeper understanding of how Anakin came to be, how he was, what led him to this place. And the fact that he's way more complex than any... Huh?
That's everyone cleaning up George Lucas's mess. Like, George Lucas wrote two different characters.
Like
George Lucas wrote two different characters.
George, you're gonna make Anakin likable at some point? He's like, I don't know.
So these people, George did not write these episodes. This is people filling in George Lucas's
They were
blanks.
like, guys, we got to make Anakin likable. Nowhere in the series did anyone try to make him likable. We made a mistake.
What do I like about these episodes?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I like that you get to learn more about Anakin. He's all across his journey. He's faced with these like crazy expectations of him. Like, imagine this is just some random guy in like the galaxy who's like, all right, you're gonna take over because you're the chosen one, and you're like, you know, it's and now all of a sudden,
said,
you know,
can we vote on watching something else?
Well, I've like lost my train of like thought.
Sorry.
You get to see like Ahsoka also as like she starts grappling with these like personal identity issues. Like, do I really have that much like, you know, the dark side in me? Do I really even want to be a Jedi? Stuff like that I think it's kind of cool. And again,
I think her story arc later where she leaves the Order does a perfect job of putting her in a scenario where you're like, I understand why she's leaving. I don't know if you needed this.
She understood.
I get what they're trying to do.
So, Nick, I have a question for you.
Oh, yeah. No. Does Scott have a further point?
My point was just, I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to bridge the whole series is trying to bridge the gap between 2 and 3 because George Lucas didn't do a good enough job of doing it. So they are filling it out, and I get that, and it's not bad. But I don't know if this way was the right way to go about it. Them going to some magic planet and meeting magic people. I think you could have just like, I don't know.
There's so much existing mythos that's unexplained that I don't understand creating more mythos than what already existed when you haven't explained half the stuff that's out there to begin with. That's my problem.
Because George felt there was more about the Force he wanted to explore and talk about and say it's not just one thing. It can be so many other things, and it's totally up for interpretation. He didn't want people set on this one thing that the Force is. He didn't want people saying, oh, that's not Star Wars, that's not Star Wars. No, because it can be.
Because it can't be set on one thing, but it just feels very out of character for the franchise. It feels very
that's ironic,
like you're getting into like Lord of the Rings and like other stuff.
Yeah, right. This is very like Harry Potter. Nick, is the implication that like him walking away from this situation is literally what sets off this like furthers the whole battle for like later on? The way the father makes it sound is like, because of this is going to affect the entire trajectory way down the line.
Yeah.
So is that like
I think so.
Really, this is like, is this that much of a pivotal moment as they're trying to make it seem?
Well, I think so. Well, let's start this episode and we'll get more into that.
Yeah, let's watch. We're gonna watch season 3, episode 16, Altar of Mortis. How more on the nose can we be? All right, is everybody ready?
Yes.
3, 2,
Wait, I'm ready.
1, go.
Sorry, Jeff.
Oh, someone suggested watch along The Room. I go with that.
Watch along what?
The Room.
The Room. Oh
You're
my God.
tearing me apart, Tom.
What does he say to the cat? It's like,
remember,
bye,
hi,
kitty.
Pug.
I don't remember.
No, it's hi, doggy.
Oh, hi,
It's this
doggy.
old pug.
Yeah, that's right.
Hi, doggy.
Oh, man.
Last episode, they went to Animal Kingdom. Played some World of Warcraft.
Weird bird showed up on a pog table. Anakin took control of the pog battle arena.
This is
Alf
Beyblade.
is back, and now he's in pog form. Ahsoka went to the bathroom.
I guess so.
Again, my favorite thing is just them sleeping on like just a hard surface. I'm gonna just like throw myself on the ground. And just...
That's a Star Wars.
And now
thing.
Anakin realized he has to
It's
go
such a
back to
Star
the
Wars
island they
thing.
weren't supposed to leave. Oh, that's a different show.
That's how the Star Wars hotel is gonna be once it opens after budget code. It's just gonna be like an empty carby and just throw
Nick
yourself
got
out
it.
there. No blankets.
Hi, handsome.
It wasn't a romantic kiss, everyone, just so you know. Most friends kiss each other on the lips.
It's the only part of that movie
Again-
I hated.
I booed in the theater.
Can confirm.
I'll go on record saying I really enjoyed Rise of Skywalker. I had a great time until that moment.
It's a fun movie.
Something else that I like about Clone Wars that you see a lot
So-
in this arc. Again, here we go with the freaking. This is supposed to be a kids show, and all of a sudden, that's what happened with me in Rebels. Like I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna watch something for fun, and then this.
Oh, they
happens, and,
realized-
Whoa, this is like.
They realized about halfway through the series that kids weren't watching Clone Wars, and so they started writing it for adults.
This is their parents.
It started
So,
as a
I
thing
wanna-
for everyone, and then they like changed the writing style.
I want to
Wait
point
a
out
second.
something here.
Aren't they in space? Wait a second. He just opens the
They weren't
bottom
in
of the
space
ship. I
yet.
thought they were in.
I don't even know what's happening anymore.
Yeah, wait a
The,
minute.
the dark side guy, very Kylo Ren there, because he's telling Anakin to like you will destroy the Sith, you will destroy the Jedi. You know, that stuff doesn't matter. You know, together we can basically rule the galaxy.
Right.
It's a very, very much they. I don't know if they kind of got some of that from this, but it was. I mean, he was Kylo before Kylo. The other thing is that you know, I don't know the
What are they gonna do? Run into him?
what should we call it? The Last Jedi, Ryan Johnson, actually says he pulled some influence from this arc for The Last Jedi. Maybe that's why people hate The Last Jedi.
I don't get
actually
that
love
Oh, I didn't know
from
that.
The Last Jedi.
I didn't get that either so far.
Most
watching
of it
but I love that.
in tone and design, I guess. Wanted to, again, that's why we got something very different and something a lot of people say, oh, that's not Star Wars. Just something a bit different that changes the tone of Star Wars a little bit. So, I mean, the other thing while watching these episodes is the idea that, and Dave Filoni even kind of alluded to this. He said this was very much like the Vader cave scene, the Luke and Vader cave scene in
Right.
Empire, meaning that it's possible this never really happened. This was all in their heads, and this is just the Force reaching out to them, and putting these visions in their head.
Fine. It's my fault he took her.
How exactly?
Someone's ahead by a couple seconds.
This scene is so weird.
You hear me?
Save your energy. Left to die.
I hate how creepy he is.
Yeah, that's so creepy.
I've been here for more years than I can't remember.
We don't give up easily.
Jedi! So young.
Can't you use the Force to grab her lightsabers and cut herself out?
Oh,
They didn't even disarm.
We will.
Sure.
Or that, yeah.
And she like immediately just lets her guard down, you know, like, oh, he's good.
Yeah.
Don't you see, Jack? You are right. You must forget.
That's
Gives
so
her-
weird.
Just gives her Sith rabies, you know? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, are you vaccinated?
oh, no.
Wait. I
Yeah.
didn't know I had this rabies, did you?
No, this is the weirdest
Ooh.
one. I don't, you know, the weirdest part of this for me.
Yeah. It's like, what do we do with the middle episode? You can't have a 2-episode story arc, it has to be 3. I love that they're not like, where's the evil guy? There he is.
You have done what is forbidden. You chose
The interesting thing is the father doesn't really seem to be, like nonpartisan.
Right?
You know, he can tell that the dark dude is probably worse than, you know, like if that guy was to get his way, he has really bad intentions. So it also makes me wonder, like, how much having the light side there, like, how much is he really keeping in balance? Because this dude seems off his rocker and willing to do whatever the heck he wants anyway.
Oh.
One of the reasons why I do think this is all kind of more force vision than real physical location is because what's really ever stopping the evil dude from just going nuts and killing his dad and battling his
I
sister?
think the point they've tried to make is that the father was already weak. He knew he was dying. So maybe he was just at a point where finally the son could take advantage of that.
Losing himself to the dark side. He's taken our friend.
Then he must have his reasons.
The same reason he had for attempting to murder your father.
He would never do such a thing.
But I saw him.
It is not his fault. My nature is to do what is selfless. But my brothers will always be to do what is selfish.
Then no, you must help us.
I cannot interfere with the ways of the Force. My father forbids it.
Your brother will flee this place and wreak havoc on the universe. You and Anakin combined have the power to stop him.
Come with me.
Okay. It's a good thing for the dissolve, otherwise we would have had to walk the whole way. What? What are we looking at here? What are we... What's
It's
the
the
shot?
blade of Mortis.
Yeah.
Gotta get the dagger. Maybe this is where they got the dagger from in Rise of
Everything always
Skywalker.
comes back to sword.
It's the Triforce.
She's got a Zelda look going.
Definitely.
Huh?
It's just an elevator.
For some reason, we gotta hide the blade in the cave. Brother doesn't know about this cave.
It's just a curly fry. Just...
Nope. It's a dark saber. I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they don't sell that at Doc on Dars.
Give them time.
There are a lot of things they should sell at Doc and Dars.
We'll be getting a refresh of the merch there.
Well, they have to reopen.
Once we get sporks. Haven't even gotten sporks yet. I'm so mad.
I mean, it would be a good time to release a utensil that you buy and you're the first person to use. Probably. The timing's right.
I love Exorcist Ahsoka.
Oh, it's so good.
I hate snips. She.
Right about everything. You must join him. He only wants what's best for the universe.
What's wrong with you?
Always with the criticism, Master. Never really believing in
You look a little more veiny than usual.
me.
I love sassy evil Ahsoka, to be honest.
He's done something to you. Snap out of it. This isn't you, Ahsoka.
Isn't it? I feel more like myself than I ever have. He asked me to give you a message. He said, if you don't join him, he will kill me.
I won't let him.
Then you will be forced.
Oh, she's holding the lightsaber right. That's how you know that it's not her.
Wow.
Wow.
She's not holding it backwards.
It is fun to get an Anakin Ahsoka lightsaber duel in here.
I mean, no, we technically
Yeah.
get that in
I can
Rebels.
see.
Yeah, didn't that happen
Yeah,
when
but
he
it's a
actually-
different
Fair enough.
situation.
I don't know what is right or what is wrong, depending on your point of view.
Our father is dying. Did you do it?
He is just so selfish and was taking too long to die, so I decided to move things along. Now, why are you here?
I won't let you leave this planet.
I'm not strong enough to keep you here.
Not alone, she is.
Are you referring to your friend?
The other interesting thing is to, like, is he, like, does he need a ship to, like, leave? You know, like, I guess he does, and I guess they don't have any ships around, because, like, apparently he can't just, like, leave on his own. So, I mean, I guess it'd behoove Dad not to keep ships around if he doesn't want either of
I love
his
that
kids to...
that's the plot hole
Get
that
away.
we're getting stuck on.
Mortis,
There's no plot holes here.
Two Jedi.
There you go. She's going backwards now.
Nah, now she's going.
can you feel it, sister? Can you feel
Wait, how did he get all the way over there?
the hate?
He's been there.
No, he was standing next to her. Obi-Wan was standing next to her.
Yeah, Obi-Wan went outside.
and then all of a sudden he's outside the window.
There's a door.
Okay.
There's a big elevator
There's
somewhere.
a door. Oh!
Here we go.
Two characters we just met are fighting each other.
Yeah, this is the fate of the universe is in the balance.
I'm sitting
Light
at something
side
wet.
to dark side. Fighting.
Any suggestions? Yes. We cut her free. What is that?
It's a sword. I'm gonna stab her with it.
Oh.
Evil side always plays dirty with lightning.
Then stand aside.
I won't.
I think the good guys could use more lightning.
Oh.
Summon Red Eyes Black Dragon.
Now for the Godzilla fight.
Oh, it's over already.
Yep.
And it's over.
That's what it looks like when I fight with my brother.
What kind of animal do you turn into?
Oh, what?
Oh. Stop this. He throws them both through a window.
So glad you could make it to our little party, Father. Stop this. You are.
You shall not pass.
Yeah. Oh, good thing he got up just to get knocked down again.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Nice catch, Ahsoka.
Everything is fire. Exactly as I do.
It's like Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Father. I didn't know how.
Dark side guys like to say stuff like that.
No.
Stabby, stabby. That's. Or not. No.
So I guess the other idea is if it really did all happen like he kind of planned it, did he, you know, call, like if this was real, did he call the Jedi there? Is he the one who lured the Jedi there to make all this happen?
My daughter. What have I done?
You do not hate him, Father. It is his nature.
No. All is lost.
Getting real biblical here.
Yeah.
I thought by bringing you here. But I have destroyed everything.
Can you help her?
Big moment coming up here.
It has been unleashed. And the dark side shall consume her. You must help her. I cannot undo what is done. There is no hope.
Yes, there is. There's always hope.
And he just flies by in the background.
Interesting, Anakin bringing up the idea of hope, which is obviously a running theme through Star Wars as well.
Yeah.
Rogue One. Hope.
Also,
All we
the
have
first
is hope.
movie's called The New Hope. There's also that.
Hope. Does this count as like force healing, or is it just like force transferring?
I think it's force transferring. So I think he's transferring the light into Ahsoka, right? And so this is kind of securing her path. I think it's securing the light side into Ahsoka, and like really, if she had any doubts about this, I think this can lead to her decisions down the road.
As the balance in this world crumbles, so shall war escalate in your galaxy. As my son has dipped into the dark side, so have the Sith gained strength.
We will stop your son.
No. No, now. He needs your ship to leave the planet. You must be before he can take it.
You.
I should warn.
So Jess, you asked me like about if this kind of helped the Sith rise to power. I mean, according to the father, yes, it did. So if you're to believe, what's going on here and what the father says, yes, I mean, this helped, and who knows? You could even chalk this up if you want to take it another step further. You could chalk it up to, Emperor Palpatine, who says he had this long-term plan, and in fact, is this part of his plan? And he kind of put this even into motion in order to secure more power for the Sith.
That's insane.
Did he call the Jedi to Mortis because he foresaw this happening? He foresaw the father being.
Is it insane though, or once you already have movies out that tell the full story, it's real easy to go and be like, oh yeah, this is because of this. All right, we're gonna stop
like
for a moment.
overarching. How can I get it to not pause?
Before we watch the third one, we're gonna stop for a moment.
I can't stop.
That's what I was trying to say before. Like when the second and third movies are out, like where Anakin ends up, so you can write whatever you want to get him there, because George didn't write enough to get him there.
Yeah.
So you can take the time to do it, and I get that's what this arc is trying to do, but you know what it reminds me of? Anyone watch the Clone Wars, the original one by the guy who does Samurai Jack?
I love those. The shorts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one in the second season where Anakin went on a tribal journey and he saw like visions of Vader and stuff like that. Basically, it was doing the same thing as this in like a quarter of the time.
A quarter? Weren't they like 2.5 minutes long?
Yeah, but it was they strung them together.
They're great.
Yeah,
like, they're for shorts, they're spectacular. If you haven't seen the original Clone Wars shorts, they're hand drawn, the art style's cool. They're really neat.
Those are cool.
Yeah, I like those a lot. Yeah, no, we're gonna start. I'll give you guys a couple minutes. Episode 17 of season 3, Ghosts of Mortis. Ghosts of Mortis, season 3, episode 17. I'll give you guys a few moments. I need a few moments to try and figure out what the hell's happening in this series.
Oh, the things we'll do without theme parks. So how's everybody been? We getting along?
Quarantine.
Sure.
Yeah.
Not like fully quarantined.
I have to be, so.
Yeah, that's true. Someone said I hope to go back to Pandora.
We never left Pandora, apparently, I think.
Oh, we're still there.
Yeah.
Or have we ever actually been there?
I don't know. It's getting kind of draggy, honestly.
We'll give everyone a restroom break real quick. We'll start in 3 minutes. 10:25. We'll start the next episode.
You can go to bed if you want.
Any questions or anything on the chat, Jess?
I'm looking at the chat. Nothing really.
You what? No. There's people yelling at us. Why the hell are we doing this?
No.
Jess is writing.
Oh,
Jess is working.
Just there's a story update I sent Jess. Remember when I got yelled at by cast members today that it wasn't official? A government mandate isn't official? Remember that? Fun.
It's Osceola County. Hello. It's not the same. Doesn't count.
Yeah, I would love to know how anyone would get to work or go to Disney World if there's a stay-at-home order in Orange County which surrounds Disney World. I don't know how that would work. Who thinks that's a way that would work? Someone said you guys are really hurting for new things to write about. A stay-at-home mandate for 2 weeks in Orange County means we're running out of things to write about. God, this community is clinically insane. Clinically insane. Someone said no official announcement, fake news. Again, a mandate on the news from the Orange County government. Not official.
Well, I like how people were disillusioned and thought the parks were going to open at the beginning of April. Like, there's no way. Even before this announcement.
Someone said inaccurate. Reedy Creek is given the power to call this on their own. Again, all of your employees live in Orange County. They can't go.
They're gonna veto this. They're gonna be like, no, sir, we are opening.
If they had built Epcot, the city, this could all worked out. They could have opened this. Someone said, quit posting. This is official news.
So
it's not. It's pure speculation. The government ordinance is pure speculation. So good. I used to like you guys, but this is clickbait. Nothing was confirmed by Disney. Shame on you. Luckily, one of our readers jumped in and like posted the link to the official announcement by Orange County. He's like, no, it's pretty real. So good. People are guys, I love Disney World. Possibly more than anyone on this planet. And I am very much lost without work to do and my favorite place to go to. But I don't think it's healthy to live in the delusion that they're going to reopen that soon. I think we're going through a world event. This is unlike anything that's happened in your lifetime, my lifetime, the lifetime of people much older than us. This is a weird thing. And it's going to be a while. And things are going to be different for a bit. And we're just going to have to watch some cartoons and wait it out.
Let's see if I can find my puppy.
That's
yes,
where we're at.
Sorry, I want to mention this. We're going to be bringing up the Colin Trevorrow Star Wars script. Don't worry. Yes.
What?
Wasn't that debunked? I thought that was fake.
No, he came out and said it was real.
It's real. Yeah, I'm gonna get my pug, Mandy. That's where I'm going right now. Hold on.
It starts real strong, and then I can see why they didn't go with it. The ending's really kind of not that I'm happy with what they did, but the Trevorrow script started interesting, and I wish they would have at least walked down that path. But instead, they decided too much of the world hated Episode 8. So.
I loved Episode 8. That's still my favorite.
I like 8. I just think people are unwilling to go along for the ride, which is how I'm reacting to this Mortis trilogy, but I don't know. I just
want to see you.
I think this is a different beast. Oh, you got Ahsoka.
I think it's honestly a little. I think it's a little draggy. I think they don't have 3 episodes worth of story here.
Yeah.
That's how they all are though. Like.
Sorry, I'm strangling you.
There's
Ahsoka.
How old is she now?
Jedi.
She just turned 3 at the beginning of March.
Oh, what a sweet baby. She helped us cook. She helped us cook when we did the Galaxy.
She didn't help us cook. She ate everything.
She helped us cook.
Sure. Are we ready to start? You guys ready to start this other episode, this third episode?
So ready.
All right, episode 17, season 3, Ghost of Mortis. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oops.
I always like this theme. I like this version of the theme song.
Yeah, I never skip the theme song for Clone Wars.
No, because you have to hear the cool intro too. Like,
yeah, it gets me in the
old
mood.
time. I love the old-timey newscaster.
No, it's very much because, like, just like Indiana Jones, Star Wars was supposed to be based on, like, sci-fi B movies, and this is, like, how a continuation would start with this narrator, like, recapping. So it's them embracing what Star Wars was supposed to be, kind of this sci-fi B movie thing. And I do love that aesthetic. I really like that.
Yeah, some might say that's part of the appeal. You did well, Anakin. How do you feel?
Did you see that lady get stabbed in the back? Did you see that?
Yeah. Crazy, huh?
You sure made a mess of this.
Well, you want the bad news or the really bad news?
Let's try the bad news.
Why is the kid fixing the ship and not the grown men?
Cause she's super talented. She's like the intern, you know, like. Plus, she's super talented at like mechanics and stuff.
She is.
Anakin's thing is piloting, and then Obi-Wan's just cool.
Well, he
older
built a
Jedi.
pod racer. He can't help.
That's what I'm saying.
He's over that. You know, it's like Tom. He's not writing anymore. That's my job.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's over it.
Well,
He built the Star.
got me there.
I was promoted to master.
Oh, what? You almost
Look at that pug.
Wait.
That's what you make sense. Anakin, I don't get the Father's blessing to leave.
Is he on a little
Still
speeder
gonna
bike?
haunt you, like.
He's on a speeder bike of some kind, yeah.
Then why was he walking to the tower when the
Who
previous episode?
knows?
There's always those like inconsistencies.
Ahsoka just built
in
the
this.
speeder.
Oh, we're passing. There's a bunch of Sims.
How I got that, I don't know. I don't play Sims.
Well, that's where Jesus
have a
came out of on the third
I
day.
was literally just gonna say.
That's
we even have the
absolutely
Jesus
what they're
tomb
doing. I mean,
The Jesus tomb analogy, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. They've done that a bunch of times with Star Wars.
just,
Future. Now, oh my God.
She shouldn't have died.
are you crying?
I love her.
Oh,
We met her for like 5 minutes.
I know, but like I think all of the
Yeah.
women in like the whole Star Wars like realm are just all so compelling or just like interesting. I don't know.
You should have left by now. Our ship needs repairs. Do not underestimate my son.
Yeah, where is the son? What's he doing right now?
Our isolation.
He's plotting. He's scheming. He's trying to get off the island.
He's circling.
You are
How do I get off this?
you to do it.
Bill, now that he's given himself over to the dark side,
someone said the pug probably understands Star Wars more than most of us.
I love her.
She probably does. She's named after one of the coolest characters in Star Wars history.
Perhaps not. The Force will decide.
I trained her well.
Longer yours to make. Both
So yeah,
sides
Colin Trevorrow, in his script for Episode 9, had them going to Mortis.
Darkness has no hold.
So who knows what that would have been like.
And you will know what to do.
I think it would have been cool to dive deeper into what the Force means in the feature films. That would have been I mean, there was always this evolution about what the Force is and what it means.
Yeah.
I think it was cooler when you didn't know it. And it wasn't midichlorians.
I mean, it's always been an evolving process as far as what George even thought about it before the films were made. He actually explained it in a lot greater detail than earlier drafts of New Hope, and then took it all out, moved the story along. But we're always looking at it from the perspective of the Jedi. I mean, with the original trilogy, we really are looking at the perspective of the Jedi. We get a little bit of perspective of the Emperor down the road. But we're always seeing what the Jedi are interpreted to be. So, it stands to reason when the sequel trilogy was made that they were going to kind of challenge that, because a lot of material had already challenged that, including the Clone Wars, including different novels and different comics. Had always challenged the idea of what the Force really means. If, again, the Jedi were wrong on a lot of things, and if they were wrong on that too, that even, and then of course the whole game changer with the midichlorians and what that really means.
Come keep back together, and now.
But I think this also kind of leads to what Luke was saying in Last Jedi when he says, we don't, the Jedi don't own the Force. We came, I finally came to that realization.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of the Jedi before that kind of thought they did, kind of thought that they were always right, and then they learned that they weren't.
Yeah.
The hard way.
And I like that. I just don't like this series. I don't like it veering into this, human manifestations of the Force, whatever these are supposed to be.
Do you think you like it better, Tom, if you think of this as not really happening, of this just being Force visions?
I would rather we not have to
enjoy
watch it if it didn't happen.
So
I feel like if we've
should
taken
skip-
3 episodes to go through this, then it has happened.
So do we skip the cave scene in Empire? Gordo!
The cave scene in Empire is all of a minute. I mean, I also don't think that's as weird as this. Like, we know there are, like, weird, Force visions and stuff. This is not a Force vision. This is some wacky religious stuff.
Will you, Bright Eyes?
Anakin, your son hasn't.
All that is dark.
I guess.
Cannot interfere.
If you are not supposed to be here, Ahsoka and I wouldn't be here in the first place. Look after this ship. I'm going to find Anakin.
I think you'd have a real problem with a lot of the recent comics. They get really supernatural. With, like, spirits inhabiting helmets that are talking to Vader. Like, I mean, that's just crazy stuff.
Trickery. Shit.
It's such a good scene.
Ah.
Is that Alderaan?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that again, cool sequence, but
Yeah,
it took us like an hour.
that's a cool moment for sure, yeah. It doesn't stop him from doing it.
No, because that is heart and selfish. He does everything for himself. I mean, even if you could even at times think maybe he's caring about Ahsoka, caring about Obi-Wan, pretty much every decision that he makes is literally for himself. I mean, even if he's told, like, basically the galaxy will be, like, destroyed if you don't, you know, bring balance to the Force. This is what you were made to do. And he doesn't want to do it.
I truly think the message is that there's this child born of the Force. He's all powerful, and like everyone in this world just keeps trying to use him, and it just backfires on everyone eventually. Everyone it just
totally
blows up in their face. The Jedi, the Sith, these guys, like everybody eventually pays for trying to manipulate this kid.
Yep. No, that's a great way of looking at it.
Yeah, it did look like Baby Groot. It did look like Anakin killed Baby Groot.
Baby Groot.
Yeah, someone in the chat mentioned one of the Padawans.
You will not understand what I have to do.
We're gonna do the scene from the third movie because we know it happened.
I have the higher ground. That doesn't make sense.
Does anyone just say that in their like day-to-day life? Every now and then I'm like, it's over. I have the high ground.
I love that.
The Jedi will stand.
It's over, Gordo. I have the high ground.
Oh. Obi-Wan Kenobi's been quarantined with this guy.
No.
Maybe if he looked cooler in his monster form instead of like a catfish with wings.
Yeah. It just looks like a burnt loth cat.
Aww.
Master, what are you saying?
This is a burnt little cat.
I'm saying I'm trapped in a volcano.
It's really hot. Please come
The
get
car
me.
fell into the lava. I need you to pick me up. Don't ask what happened to the speeder bike. Just come get me.
Yeah, this is basically doing Revenge of the Sith, but earlier. Like right now.
She took the buttons.
She took
We
the
can't fly
button.
the ship without the buttons.
Nice job.
What took you so long?
But screw you.
Here. Like the Dizzy said, the shuttle's going nowhere without that.
Good. That gives us some time to rescue Anakin.
She took the button.
He literally took my riff. You stole the riff.
The most powerful being in the universe stopped by a missing button.
Together, with your father, they could be a formidable opponent. I can tell you that in our favor. Stay here.
I can fly. You can't.
Away goes the lost bat.
practically true.
I'm going to tell you this. It's not going to change anything, but I'm going to tell you this anyway. Your future is what you make of it, so make it a good one. No, Back to the Future Part 3, nobody?
I was thinking the ride, but okay.
The symbol on the door, isn't that like a thing?
I actually don't know.
I think that's one of the patches they sell in Dock on Dar, that emblem.
Yeah, it does look very, yeah.
Huh.
I've seen that before.
Have you been to Mortis?
I'm thinking about it now. Gotta be better than here.
Close that back up.
You're on the Pog Stadium again.
You're in the Pokemon Stadium.
They just start pulling out Pokeball.
This is the one. This is like Mewtwo's about to come out in the corner.
Dude, yeah, that's a good idea. Why didn't we watch the Mewtwo movie?
Because it's not Disney. It's the Disney website.
Oh, that's right.
We need to wait till they buy them.
Oh boy, don't say that.
They play Pokemon on Disney XD.
Oh, they do. That's right.
Stop the sun once and for all. You have little time, and you get only one.
Wait, now he's not with the sun again. Boy, Anakin's getting tossed around real good.
I ask you one last time. Do not leave, my son. You have no power to keep me. You must stand by now. Planet is not my destiny. What you do will destroy all is good. I beg you. Bring us. Stay.
Well, and it's over.
That didn't really work.
Yeah, wee.
Ow.
Yes. Bro, do it.
You're going to kill me now. I held hope that you could resist the dark side. You're going to kill me now. There is no going back. No.
Yo.
It does not have to be this. My child. It did. You and I are tied. And your strength runs through me. It's me. I take.
There's Dyad.
Those were my parents killing themselves when they found out I was getting a liberal arts major.
Wow. That's it.
A liberal arts degree. Again, so biblical, you know, like betrayal and.
Yeah.
It is done. And now,
It's me.
my heart broken. But knowing the rule is that?
The same thing Anakin's wife died of. Broken heart.
Stabbing herself with a sword.
No, it said like, oh, she just refuses to live. It was like,
yeah.
We'll do it again. For the galaxy. Must be one. No.
Oh, he left his hat. Sir, you forgot your hat.
stop.
Sorry, Mortis is closed due to COVID-19.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, man.
Oh, it was all a dream.
All a dream. There you go. None of this mattered. We can go home now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did we learn today, kids?
They were off the scope. It happened. It absolutely happened.
Coming in now.
3 weeks of your life you'll never get back, everyone.
It's like right now.
All right. I get what they were trying to do.
Oh, man.
Was that really 3 episodes worth of content?
No.
Yep.
I think it was great.
Could have been 2.
I think it was a little
Oh no,
drawn
wait, we're
out.
going into the next arc.
No, I've stopped the show now.
I've stopped.
I don't know. I still don't like it. It has moments where I'm like, oh, that's fun. But then there's just a whole lot of this is a waste of time. This is not Star Wars.
It's because you're not a real Star Wars fan.
Yep, that's me. Not a real Star Wars fan.
I don't know.
I just don't like the
Star Wars
not
is a great-
Star Wars thing.
I thought it was
Clone
all
Wars is a
right.
great supplement.
I think it was Star Warsy enough, but I just don't think it was written very tightly. It was a little plotting and a little heavy-handed with the Catholicism parallels.
Yeah. It's fine. Well, anyway, quick
think
reminder,
if
if
you
you're... well, Nick, go
I
ahead.
was just gonna say, I think if you watch enough of whether it be Clone Wars, Rebels, read enough of the novels, read enough of the comics, you're gonna get a lot of different views on the Force. I think the interesting thing about this one is that, I get your point, Scott, that Lucas didn't physically write this script, thank goodness, but he had a heavy hand in this. He had a very heavy hand in the Clone Wars. He had to approve everything. He had to approve all the designs, all the concepts. And I think that we're seeing a lot of interesting material about what Star Wars can be from Dave Filoni, because he's a direct disciple of George Lucas. He's the closest thing we have, and he took a lot of what George Lucas, a lot of George Lucas's influence, and is kind of expanding upon that and taking it to the next level. I like this because it's George deciding to tell us what he believes the Force can be, or what an idea for us to think about the Force in a different way. Let's expand our minds and think about the Force in a different way. That's really what this was all about. And I really do choose to believe that this trilogy helped set a path for Anakin. I believe it helped set a path for Ahsoka, in a way, because it helped her kind of see what her fears were, and then I really do think you could the way I take it, she was instilled with the light side here to help set her down the path that she eventually went on. I think it gives us an idea of saying that, the Jedi really don't have any clue about any of this. And that's kind of what George was trying to tell us in the prequels anyway. And this is an extension of that. And I enjoy it because it opens up your thinking about what Star Wars and what the Force can be. That's the same reason I like Last Jedi, to be honest with you.
I think Last Jedi did it a lot better than this trilogy. I think, and again, I point to the second season of the original Clone Wars by, I can't pronounce his name, so I'm not even going to try. The guy behind Samurai Jack.
Yeah.
They did a Spirit
I love
Quest.
Samurai Jack.
You'll love those.
They did a Spirit. Yeah, they did a Spirit Vision thing with Anakin too, and it was very similar, but a lot tighter and quicker.
They're really great. They're not on here.
They were.
No, they're not.
I don't know who owns those. Who owns those?
It might be Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
Might be, yeah. I mean, Clone Wars is like, for me, it's like a Star Wars supplement. Like it gives backstory and context to things we see in what would be like the bigger text, which would be the movies and stuff. Just like the comics and the books and the novels and stuff.
I read a lot of the comics. I don't know. Just this particular trilogy rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know.
I just see it as something extra, if not something that helps me understand things more in depth. I like that, like, they're just these little 3-4 episode arcs, so sometimes I'll just have it on while I'm working or something in the background, or if I'm just like doing other things, and I might. But then again, that's what happens. I always try going into this as like casual watching, and then it revs up like it did in the 3rd episode. And then I'm like, wow, this is starting to get really deep, which I like. I like that aspect of it, even if it might get a little wacky or out of character, I guess, for some people's taste.
Well,
I want to quickly mention.
And
wow. I want to quickly mention if you're enjoying.
No, wait.
Why are you talking?
No, she has something.
Stop talking.
I want to say something to close it out.
Go ahead.
I think it's important to know about the Clone Wars and to know about Rebels, because I feel like Disney's really suddenly they're really picking up on this. For a long time, Clone Wars and Rebels went as like a kind of like a cult classic type deal. And now, as you can see throughout like Galaxy's Edge and stuff, with all the hidden Easter eggs that are almost all of them are like Rebels or Clone Wars based.
5 people love it. 5 people know what that fruit is, and they love it.
And then with The Mandalorian, we're starting to see like possible crossover too, which is going to be fascinating. They've already cast Ahsoka, which might lead to seeing Sabine Wren, which might lead to other characters, and these are all people that you would know if you saw Clone Wars and Rebels. And then once it all comes together, and like it's gonna blow your mind. I don't know. I'm really excited to see.
I also think
these series come back. Yeah.
Well, I think to expand upon that, I think it's important to watch these if you want a deeper understanding of the characters and the storylines that were talked about in the prequels, because I think and really, I encourage people to read some of the other content, some of the novels out there, even the novelizations of the prequels. You get a lot more story about these characters, and it's really, really deeply fascinating. It honestly is. The movies don't do it justice. The movies are just a launching pad for a lot of that content. So that's kind of where I stand with that. I do like Rebels more than Clone Wars. I do have to say that overall. I think there's better stories to be told. I think they really hit a great stride in Rebels. I think it's just more interesting stories. But again, if you just want an expansion on the especially the bad guys, I mean, Count Dooku in Clone Wars, and Ventress and all those characters.
I love Ventress.
You get an amazing, right? You get an amazing backstory about those characters. It greatly, greatly expands your love of those characters.
Is everyone good now? Can I?
Yeah, you may go.
Saying
Can I go
Whatever
through
you
I
my
got it out.
rigmarole? Yeah.
Yeah, I
If
got
you're-
some Animal Crossing to play.
If you're enjoying what we're doing, being here live every day, please become either a WIGS member or part of the WDWNT Interglobe Society. You could do that at patreon.com/WDWNT. You get exclusive post shows for Park Center, which is on Wednesdays, and News Tonight, which is on Thursdays. We'll keep those going every week for the foreseeable future. And yeah, there's all different levels where you can join and get all different sorts of perks. And if not, you could also use the super chat right on YouTube to donate and support WDWNT. But we will be here every day, continuing to bring you watch-alongs and fun discussions and things until the Disney parks reopen at some point in time. I'm going to go bring up the schedule of things that are coming up. I have to go over here to do it. Here's the schedule.
What's on the docket for tomorrow, Tom?
Well, tomorrow at 11 a.m., Spencer's going to join us. We're going to watch tomorrow's supposed to be the final day of Fantasmic at Tokyo Disney Sea, but obviously they're not open. So we will do a watch-along of Fantasmic and say goodbye to the Tokyo Disney Sea version. As well, we're going to watch, because we talked about it a lot the last time we did a watch-along last week, we're going to watch The Legend of Mythica, the old harbor show from Tokyo Disney Sea, and we'll watch some other stuff. We'll watch some Florida stuff and some California stuff. I'll compile some stuff tonight, actually. Then tomorrow night at 9 is Park Center. They're going to be recapping the second round of our March Madness tournament of 64 unbuilt Disney theme park attractions. On Thursday, oh no, it's Party with Pete at 11 a.m. What he's going to do, I have no idea. But Pete's taking over so we can prepare for WDW News Tonight, which is at 9 p.m. on Thursday, and that will be the conclusion of our March Madness 2020 tournament. As well, there'll be an appearance from Cornac the Magnificent and much, much more.
Oh, who's going to hand them envelopes?
You are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hope you have envelopes.
Quarantine doesn't apply to you, Nick.
He's just got to pass him to his left. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Off screen. You just got to pass him off screen. It'll be fine.
Just get a giant grabber arm.
Cornac, much, much more. A very special opening segment we're working on. We're actually going to record tomorrow. All that and more on News Tonight this week on Thursday. On Friday, author Leonard Kinsey of The Dark Side of Disney and a publisher of many other Disney books you probably have heard of or own will be joining us at 11 a.m. live. And as well at 8 p.m. on Friday, a bunch of the guys and gals will be hosting the first ever edition of Whose Ride Is It Anyway? A parody of Whose Line Is It Anyway? Improv show that used to be quite popular back on ABC. So all that and more coming up the next few days on WDWNT Live. Again, sticking with you through the closure of the Disney parks around the world. So that's going to do it for us for this evening. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye,
Goodbye.
everybody. I have to end the show now. We'll see you tomorrow.
Dun, 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 dun. Did I just